keep a fan in front of it, in front of your vents or something to help circulate the air.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have vents. I just have what's that called? I got pipes, radiator. Well, not radiators. They're just along the floor on the perimeter. And the
Oh,
pipes
okay.
basically, I got two loops of pipes that circulate hot water that runs through the furnace.
Oh
Um,
God, you got what fucking Mars has?
is that what Mars has?
Yes, he has fucking pipes, dude.
Yeah. And I know a bit about this because I had a green pipe in the basement that I had to sweat. And so then I was able to learn from YouTube how to first I learned by DIY, and then I had to learn the rest of it. But let me hit this button here and see if that's working yet. Okay, we are live everywhere now. Yeah, so to recap from last winter, for the listeners that weren't around last winter, I had a green pipe in my basement. And I got tired of looking at the green pipe and thinking to myself, well, do I fix it before it becomes a problem? Or do I wait for it to become a problem? And so I decided, fuck it, I'm fixing it. I have no clue what the hell I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have seen people on YouTube do this. And so I watched like 5 YouTube videos on how to sweat a pipe. And so I went to what's that place? Not Home Depot, the other one, Lowe's, and I picked up a length of copper pipe and a pipe cutter and a little ends that you fit them into, and
Mm-hmm.
foam that you put around it since it's holding hot water, and a blowtorch and solder and flux and all that good stuff, and all the type of stuff that's great for if you have the goal of sweating a pipe or burning down your house. Either way, you're covered. So, although I would have needed the pipe or the flux or the solder, the blowtorch alone would have been fine for burning down the house. And then you get the insurance money, and they build a house that doesn't have green pipes. I
We
can.
got a Tyler Blount, 1994, that goes, "Hey there, buddy.
Hey
What's
there.
going on? How are you
Hello.
doing?"
Hello, Tyler. Doing good. We're talking about pipes, and
All kinds of pipes.
all types of.
Pipes.
So, so the problem is I didn't know how to drain the heating system before cutting the bad section of pipe out. So I made some logical guesses, and I did some things that resulted in some water. Well, I turned off the hot water heater because you could turn that off. You could turn off the furnace. It's not a hot water heater; it's a furnace. So I turned that off, and I opened up any spigot that I could find on it until water stopped flowing out of them, and I said there. Once the water stopped, that means it's empty, right? And so then I went in the
No.
basement and I got my pipe cutter and I picked a section of good pipe next to the green pipe. I put a bucket underneath it because I am smart, and I ran the pipe cutter around the pipe until water started spurting out, and that's what I knew that the rest of the draining had commenced. And sure enough, the bucket caught the water because gravity helped me with that, and eventually water stopped coming out from that pipe. And then I cut the other end, and then I put my fittings and my flux and everything and lined it up and got my blowtorch and my solder and finished sweating that pipe in. And then I had a bunch of gurgling, bubbling sounds whenever I ran the heater because when you drain water out from a closed loop of a heating system, you got to put water back in. And that's where I needed to do some YouTube research and figure out, okay, you throw that lever there and you throw that lever there, and then that routes your water into the loops, and then you just run those until bubbles stop coming out from your bucket. And yeah, so
Well, good job.
so that's
Bravo.
so that's what I have. So that's what I have for heat, and that's why I know how that all works.
Have you thought about putting in a cast iron stove or like a pellet stove? Because those heat up a fucking place real good.
I've thought of that. There's a twofold problem with that. One, I have to budget and pay for that, and two, I'd have to figure out a good spot for that. There's the back wall consists of the kitchen and everything, so that's out. The right side of the house is up against the driveway, so that's probably not a good... Well, then again, you don't want a chimney to go out the side. You probably want the chimney to go up. So that means finding a spot to run a chimney through the second floor? I don't know. There's a lot of logistics that have to be... I have to find a good spot that would work for it.
And permits.
And
Well, if you bring in a chimney crafter, an actual person that will install it, they will actually find a decent place for you.
Yeah,
to put it.
The thing is as I already know off the top of my head, I'm limited to what spots, not just practicalities of that, but also like if I put in a living room, then what do I put it in the middle of the wall there, which is where I have the TV, so then the TV's hanging over a source of radiating heat.
You can actually put it in a corner. You can put it in a corner.
There's only one corner in the living room. Well, there's two corners in the living room. I have a completely open floor plan downstairs, so I have the one corner because the other corner of the living room is where the door to the basement is. So there is that one corner, but that's
what the fuck.
That sounds like a rooster.
We have a rooster. That is our Banny rooster, our Mexican rooster. God, what is his name?
Yeah, but
I want to say Carlos, but it's not Carlos.
Extra
but
crispy.
It's still daylight over there.
Yes, he doesn't know when to crow, so he just crows all the time.
Well, if the sun's up, right?
I'm sorry, if he's going to crow that much, that's dinner.
No,
that one's
he just
extra
crows
crispy.
when he wants to. Sorry.
Extra crispy.
Tyler Blount writes in, "That's good to hear, man. You said something about Lummish streaming again in the new year. What did you mean by that?"
That's about the only information I have. I don't know what her plans are, or if she has specific plans. I just know that she does want to start streaming again and is thinking about that. I mean, she's talking about some games, and we talk about different games, but I have nothing in a way of specifics that I can share at this time. But I do have the sound of a super rooster, so we could...
The sound that scared an entire neighborhood.
Now that was my recreation based on your story. What was that? Was that a reel-to-reel deck that you took a recording and then slowed it down to half speed or something like that?
Yeah, took it from 7.5 down to 1 7/8.
Oh, quarter speed. And
dude, I need to do that in my neighborhood just to freak the fuck all the fucking kids out and
don't do it. The cops will come.
Don't matter. There's a crazy lady that lives behind me in the woods.
That thing will scare the shit out of people.
I want to hear her start popping off shotguns and shit, dude, and have her start calling up here. Did you hear that?
Well, it doesn't.
I don't know what it is.
It doesn't take
That's
much.
what happened.
It doesn't take much along the lines of loud noises to summon the police. I mean, for example, my dad has a story I guess I shouldn't say he did it. Of some people he knew.
Monster.
Well, my dad had a brilliant idea, or my dad's friend had a brilliant idea, because they had firecrackers, which were completely, legal and on the up and up back in those days. And, there's a little bit of powder that's in them. I mean, they're little tiny things. And so the thought was, well, if a little bit of powder makes a little bang, then a lot of powder would make a big bang. So, let's
Put
get
some shrapnel in that and let it fly.
yeah, let's get 20 or 30 of these little firecrackers, and we'll just gather the powder into a small little metal container that
Sort of like what we did.
and without realizing it, they built a
That's what we do
bomb.
all the time.
They built a bomb, is what they built. It was a bomb, and they got. But sure enough, the police were called out to investigate the boom. And I said, well, what happened when they got there? He says, I don't know. I was long gone. So didn't stick around to find out.
My area is known as the Twigger capital of the world. Usually there is some type of sonic boom that will go off at least once or twice a month. You can count that there is a meth lab going off, exploding, because then there will be sirens going off somewhere in the distance to put out whatever bomb.
That's a different kind of boom. But speaking of things that start with a boom, we do have to start the show by opening the show, because that's what we do here. And this is the one, the only, everyone's favorite internet radio show.
Insert title
haters.
here.
What?
Haters.
Lulu?
I hold on. Does it really say the third? Yeah, your stream still says the third purpose on Twitter. I mean,
On Twitch. Okay. I did edit that, and I did say now with material. But apparently Twitter decided let's not apply that. All right. So
You mean Twitch?
Twitch.
Oh, now it says now with material.
Well, I just applied it again. Although I just refreshed and it still says the third purpose. If you see the third purpose on your screen, just pretend it says now with material. So let's try this again. Hello, everyone. It's that time again. It's time for everyone's favorite internet radio show.
Yeah, favorite.
Wrong buttons. So everyone's favorite internet radio show.
Insert title here.
The show that changes titles so often, we just had to put a placeholder in. It just makes things much easier with the placeholder rather than just changing names. Because then we'll just go back and we'll fill them in later when we finally decide what we want to call this show. We'll fix that in post, like all problems. And this week, as usual, we have Lulu with us, and Venison, and Brian.
Where's Brian?
Where is Brian? Yes, Brian is. Where did he say he is?
Class.
He has a class to attend. If he gets. Yeah, I don't know if he's teaching or taking the class though. We have a lot of questions here about, or does he mean that he has class, as in like this show isn't classy enough for him because he has class? Maybe that's that could be what he meant.
No, he has no class.
He has no class. It's like school in the summer, no class. Well, that's like a line that would come out be in a Fat Albert episode, isn't it?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yes.
I remember one morning, I was I turned on the TV and I'm flipping through the channels, and you know how like sub channels will show like old reruns of things that haven't been on TV in ages, because now that we have sub channels, we got something we can use this material for. And there was this little like animated short that was on, and I was like, this looks very characteristic of a certain type of people that I don't know that this is. It looked very not PC, and then it cut to Bill Cosby in the junkyard. I'm like, oh, it's Fat Albert. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Bill gets a, but what Bill can get away with the animation that looks a little dated in style. What Bill can't get away with is raping people. That's what you can't do. So, yeah.
So it's okay to make fun of fat black people, but
Well,
it's not okay to make fun of rape.
No. It's not okay to commit rape. Is what but make it, and I don't think they ever made fun of Fat Albert for being fat. It was just what they called him.
No.
I mean, Fat Albert was cool. He had class.
Sure.
Yeah, he kept everybody out of trouble.
And you knew if you wanted to win at Buck, you wanted Fat Albert on your team.
Yeah. You know what I have to say from Dr. Now?
What?
What is wrong with your eating habit?
What? I'm sorry, I'm missing something here.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
But I do want to thank Lulu for sending me a picture of a shriveled up balloon, because that is Lulu has a habit of sending me ball related news from time to time.
I'm trying to tell you.
For those that have not been listening since before or around the time when Lulu started being on this show, my introduction to Lulu was well, Venison discovered my show when he found out I heard of the Residents and might have insight as to who they are. And so he started calling into my show and asking me if I've heard of a bunch of other weird out there stuff. And I heard about half of it. And and then Mars was hanging around. And then, Lulu, she hangs out with them in chat. So she started calling in. So she called in and started telling me that my wife keeps my balls in a jar on the fridge. And that was our first conversation. So that's Lulu left an interesting first impression on me. So I knew right off the bat this is a lady that if I ever met her would put my balls in a jar, and that is why we have never met in person. and so a few weeks later, Venison messaged me and said, "Hey, all right if Lulu joins the show again?" And I was like, "I don't know. She's kind of scary." And I really was scared and was not so sure how I could. I really, to be honest, I didn't want to, but I had no good reason not to, and I'm generally an inclusive guy, and I'm glad I went with my my friendly all-inclusive response there, because you've provided many hours of entertainment.
He's a glutton for punishment.
Only some of it had anything to do with my balls. So, but Lulu sent me.
We did talk about your itching down there.
Well, yeah, that's where the powder comes in.
No, dude, you got crush rot.
What do they make Gold Bond's medicated powder for? I mean,
have you used Monistat yet? I'm telling you, Monistat is good for you.
That's not for the balls. That's
you can use it on your balls. You can use it on your cock and balls. If it's good for women, you can use it on your cock and balls.
I don't need to test that theory. I have.
Did you know you can fuck with it?
What?
It's good lube.
Wait. How do you know this?
My mom's told me.
That's worse than saying you've tried this yourself. That was a worse answer than I was expecting. How does that come of a conversation? Remember, be safe, use protection, and if you run out of lube, just grab some Monistat.
Dude, the conversations I'm having with
Someone's gonna isolate that now. Oh, by the way, we've learned something about our good friend Dune. And what we've learned is that Dune apparently has something of an odor control problem. Maybe we're not sure. But
Okay.
well, no, because Deadpool called into the Dude and Bob show yesterday, and I started asking him, well, what do you do for like the stench of, because he wears these suits and dances around in them, these full body Deadpool suits, and so I'm like, those got to get pretty sweaty and stanky. What do you do for that? Are those dry clean only, or are those machine washable? And he's like, dude, no way I'm throwing this $4,000 thing in the washer. No, that's dry clean, and it ain't cheap to get it dry clean. And so he showed us that he's got like this charcoal filter bag that you put the suit in the bag, and that filters out the stench. And then you leave the bag out in the sun, and that filters the stench out of the bag. And there you go. And that minimizes the amount of dry cleaning he has to do for the suits. And so Dune said, hold on, I think I've seen something like that before. And he left and he emerged, and one of these little charcoal filter bags magically appeared in his bathroom one day. And so we're like, yeah, I think this means your wife thinks you stink, I think is what that means. And so then today he tweeted a picture of another one of these bags that was left by his recliner.
Oh my God.
Now the bathroom I can understand, but when one of these show up next to your standard everyday recliner, no, something's gone wrong. Something's gone very wrong. At least my wife ain't buying, odor capture sacks to leave around the house next to me. So I got that going in my favor. Poor Dune.
Maybe she's being kind.
Poor Dune. And Jose Guzman greeting us from Malaysia. Hello, Jose.
He does know that there's advanced pet strength Febreze, right?
Well, he's not the one that bought these bags. His wife bought them and left them around the house, subtly, strategically, without saying anything. It's just because of me and Deadpool.
This is why Johnny is a punk. That's what Dune has wrote.
Right. Because before
or written is the right word, not wrote.
Because before Deadpool and I educated him as to what these bags meant, he was blissfully ignorant to his odor problem, and now he knows.
Maybe the dogs. I mean, I understand the one in the bathroom, like that one you can't really get away with, because the funk of shit is just, it can waft in the air even with like a fan on, or like some poopery.
You see, I usually, here's a funny thing, because I used to think that it was polite to close the bathroom door after you were done funking it up, so that it wouldn't creep out into the non-bathroom area. Kristen instructed me that no, you shouldn't leave the door closed. You should open it so that it has a chance to air out. And because apparently I think that was something I got questioned on early on into living together. Like, why do you close the door when you're done? Because then it stays in there, and then when she go in there, she would like just about die, and so she.
Oh
yeah. I'm like, but it's the bathroom. It's supposed to stank. I just don't want it drifting out down the hall into the rest of the place. But no.
Oh, you're welcome, Dune. Yes, dog smell next to the recliner or anything is the most vile fucking smell ever. When they itch their ass, lick their balls, decide to fucking put their watery smell everywhere. I fucking hate dogs.
Dude, do you have a fan in that bathroom?
I don't even have a plug outlet in this bathroom.
Wow.
We got a light fixture. There is a window, I guess. I guess I could open the window. I guess that would be a viable option.
Oh, my God.
Well, but I don't think I had a window that had easy access in Oakland, which is where this discussion took place. So that was the issue. It was the bathroom in Oakland that I'm not so sure if I think that window was in a high to reach spot and over the shower. I guess I could have opened.
You got a fan in the bathroom now?
No, the bathroom now is the one that don't have plug outlets. No, I don't. Actually, no, I don't think. No, we did not have a fan.
Oh man, that means that sink is going to get on the walls and linger. Oh.
But no, it'll drain out the pipes.
No.
Yeah, sure.
No.
Gravity pulls it down into the pipes. Down the drain it goes.
No, not until it gets on the walls and some of it stays there.
Yes, just dissipates. It just naturally dissipates. It'll escape out through the non-insulated walls.
No.
It'll go out through the shower head.
What?
Here's hoping.
Anyways, it always dissipates. You give it a little time, it dissipates. It's just that it drifts out into the, especially now that we have the bathroom right next to the kitchen. So you know when
you don't want to smell shit while you're cooking.
When something's cooking, there's something else cooking, and so there's.
Ew.
Yeah, just hang one of those charcoal bags in there. You're
good. Maybe I need to get some charcoal bags. Maybe Mrs. Dune is on to something there.
Yeah, just hang a few charcoal bags in there. You're good.
Well, let's get a few charcoal bags for the bathroom, and.
But yeah, Dune. That's why there's charcoal bags around where you sit. If you got puppy dogs sitting next to you, you know. So. And if your sofa or couches ever have like fabric on them, dude, you gotta like get a steam cleaner on that fucking shit, because fucking dog dookie on their asses, fucking little piddle paddles and shit, them licking their butt and everything, butt juices everywhere. If you don't wash your dogs like every fucking week so they don't smell like ass, fucking dog grease.
No.
All that shit starts smelling.
You gotta love that. Dogs are so wonderful. They lick their balls, they lick their ass, they lick your face, and in that order.
They keep it clean.
Them rolling around in blood and shit. Something dead outside.
Yeah, still better than a bucket, but that was a very secure lid.
The worst was we had a dog that liked to snack out of the trash can when my youngest sister was still in diapers, and I'm just gonna leave that right there.
No, dude, I can do something even better.
Oh no!
The dogs actually got into my dad's shit bucket and ate all of it.
Oh!
Okay. The contents of that are more than the contents of the diapers. So you win.
Yeah.
You win.
Yeah. They broke down the baby gate overnight a couple weeks ago, got into a shit bucket, and licked it all up.
Oh, okay. All right.
True story.
There's only one thing that we could say in response to that. You are the win. You win. You are the win.
Hey, Mom, how about we put him in a home? Can we put him in a home, please? Can we, send him to, Sarah's work? No, we're going to keep him here. We're going to take care of him. But
even my dogs wouldn't eat shit.
Oh, our dogs love shit. They'll roll around and fucking bear shit, and then bring it into the house and sit on our furniture.
Well, that's practical because if you're hunting, you want to mask your scent. So
our dogs aren't hunting.
They got the instinct. You should take them hunting.
Our dogs actually took down a goat.
Oh, there you go. They're goat hunting dogs.
No, our pit bull Titus. Every time we go past the farming areas in this area we live in, he'll stare at he'll stare at the cows like he wants to kill them. So we don't let him out of the car.
No. Well, I think if anyone's listening to this show, what did Pedge say when we asked him to feed the dogs?
Oh my God, I think I pooped myself.
There we go. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay, we actually have material because
my life is material. You want me to tell you about my life?
If you want to talk about your life, we'll listen to your life.
No, it's okay.
Sounds like, but yeah. So what Lulu does to distract herself from her life is send me pictures of articles about inflated balls that include a picture of a shriveled balloon as the visual aid for the article. Like you blow up a balloon, you tie a knot in it, and then you wait. And it starts deflating, but like the rubber's still like stretched, so then you get like the wrinkles and the little bulbous left of it, and yeah, that's the picture they included.
That is, if you would like to see this, it's in the private messenger on Twitter that we all share
for your convenience.
For your
so this is the type.
Scroll up.
This is the type of stuff Neo likes to read. While taking a nasty shit, I'm thinking. This is what you read on the can, right?
No, this is what I read while I get high.
Okay, all right. After 3 decades of progressive symptoms, a 43-year-old man from Panama was rushed into emergency surgery with a massively swollen scrotum that hung past the level of his knees and had begun to rot and ooze foul-smelling pus. A team of Texas doctors report. Why is this news? Why does this need... Who wants to know this?
It's an actual article. It's a medical article.
Who wants to know this? What purpose does this serve to share this?
It's medical news.
It's
how to treat this.
When he arrived at the hospital, he had you know how you treat this? A bullet to the head. That's how you treat this. It's like, what's that? My balls are absolutely disgusting. Nothing's going to go within a 5-mile radius of my balls anymore. Okay, bullet to the head. Thank you.
Oh, shit. What the fuck happened here?
When he arrived at the hospital, he had a fever of 102.2 and a rapid heart rate, as well as extensive swelling and thickened skin in his scrotum and upper right leg. He also had 2 open wounds in his scrotum. He also had, yeah, that was the sound of them draining the balls of the... They had to tie him up to a special drainage machine, and it just...
Sorry, that's my fucking hard drive.
I know what it is. I just have to work it into the show. Make it sound like that we meant to do that. Fearing the ravages of gangrene and sepsis... now you're worried? How long does it take to get to this point? A life-threatening response to infection, the doctors quickly wheeled him to an operating room to try to remove the rotting flesh. Pathologists examining tissue from his scrotum found extensive inflammation and that some of his skin had begun to liquefy. Though days of intravenous antibiotics seemed to improve his surgical wounds, his painful infection lingered. Doctors made the call to remove his left testicle and scrotum, as well as repair his hernia with a biological mesh. Doctors also performed plastic surgery and subsequent operations to repair his perineum and penis, which had become buried by his extremely large scrotum. No! That's awful! After 4 weeks in rehabilitation, the man was reported to be healing well with satisfactory cosmetic and functional outcomes. Okay, he's got a working dick again. That's good.
They literally had to like cut his dick and reform it.
The doctors suspect that it started with untreated lymphatic filariasis, a parasitic disease caused by roundworms that are transmitted by mosquito bites. Once lowered to the body, the worms take up residence in the lymph system, causing inflammation. Though most infected people show no symptoms, some can go on to develop lymphedema, tissue swelling, elephantitis, skin and tissue thickening, and such scrotal swelling called hydrocele. Left untreated, dysfunction of the lymphatic system can pave the way for bacterial infections to set in. Yeah, so if your balls start swelling up, you might want to get that checked out before they start rotting. Just a little tip.
Elephantitis could be kind of good sometimes, especially if it affects the dick.
Okay.
No, Venison, no.
No?
You want me to show you pictures of an elephantitis dick? I can find those for you.
No. Probably Long John Silver.
No.
I don't know.
He's got a 2-foot long dick, man.
And I'll tell you, we keep going down this path much more. Pretty soon, we're going to be hearing the sound of
Alexa, shut up.
Because that's how Mars turns off the stream.
Alexa, shut up. I'm so glad you have those. Alexa, shut up. Alexa, shut up.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
No, that was when we discovered that you could make Alexa play porn, and
yeah. Well, yeah, and going through his court.
yes, we. Oh man, do I still have the video of that though?
Finding all the dildos and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was great fun. You know, we put all kinds. Every time we swung by his place, we would add some more items to his shopping list, and it took him a while to set up the app so that he could start taking the things out of his shopping list. Because Alexa lets you add things to your shopping list, but it don't let you take things out of the shopping list. You have to do that with the app set up. So that was. Let's see if we can find. Oh man, I don't know if I still have that video that we took of us adding that stuff to Mars's Alexa. Okay, that's a video of me playing a background music record. So that's clearly not the right video. Let's see. That's a video. That's a video of me playing 78s. Let's see, what's this one? I don't know what that was. That was clearly not a good video.
Well, here we are at the well. The tap water in Bennington adds a little more than we want in our beer in the form of chlorine. So we drive out here a little bit on Vermont State Route 9 to where this well is with a hose that's always running.
That was us, me documenting the beer making process in Vermont. Which starts with a well on the side of the road with a hose. Let's see.
Yeah, we found one in New York State that.
Go ahead.
It was just a hose coming out of a mountain, and everybody was stopping to pick up fresh water. It was fresh spring water out of a mountain.
Oh, there I am on the beach. Nice, beautiful beach day. Okay, this is not. Okay, what is this? I don't know. This is dark, whatever this is. All right, well, this video clearly didn't come out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, those are the cats fighting at Seth's cats. Oh, there I am playing with a radio. Okay, yeah, I don't know if I still have video from Mars's place. I don't know where my old.
I think I've got it somewhere, but I'm wondering what kind of codec you had.
What kind of what?
Yeah.
What?
codec you had that you used to make videos, because I couldn't play it even on a Zeppelin machine. It would come out all slow and everything.
Codex of what?
What are you talking about?
The video of Sir Mars and his, Alexa stop.
Oh, I sent you that?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it was. Just a droid, and it was just whatever the default setting was. So I don't.
Yeah. It wouldn't play properly with me.
Well,
even after I installed the 7.
Yeah. Well, that's just. What can I say? Technology hates you. But this is nothing new. We've known this for a long time.
No, I think technology hates you.
No, hey, the videos worked fine for me. You're the one that had trouble with
for
them.
you.
They worked fine for me.
Yeah, because
As
it came
the
from you.
world turns.
Okay, I don't know where all my videos from my old phones went to. This sucks. I don't have any of the old ones anymore. That's unless I've. Oh wait, I might have saved them in a different folder. Let's see what's over in this folder. I have some. Not many things though. Maybe in this folder. We'll try one more folder and then we'll go on to another news story because this is getting boring. I think I have a. Oh, here we go. Here's a home movie folder, and here's iPhone videos. Okay, that's really old stuff because I only had an iPhone very briefly, and those are move videos. Okay, so this is.
Whoa, this one's not even out of the packaging. Greg's all hardcore. It's
Oh, that's us going through Greg's Pokemon card collection. Oh, this is from my cousin's wedding. Okay, we can fast forward past that day. That's my dad showing off his Trans Am. Okay, we can fast forward past that. That's boring.
My van sounded better than that.
What's that?
My van sounded better than that.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Are you kidding? With the Eliminator 2000 headers.
Oh, here are the hula dancers in Hawaii. And yeah, it was a short clip. Let's see here. So we're getting to the right time period here of these. One of these movies has got to be. Okay, that's a waterfall.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's us hanging out in the Japanese tea garden. Oh, here we are. Oh, these are the videos from Alcatraz. Okay, all right. We'll fast forward past those.
I won't ask.
Well, we went to Alcatraz. You know, why not?
Against your will, or
we took the tour.
Okay. That's what they called it.
Yeah, we took a short little 10-year tour. We got out at 8 years because of good behavior. And it was,
Did you see Al Capone there?
no.
Was he locked in his cell?
No, he was dead. I'm surprised I don't have that video in here.
It's okay. You don't have to have it.
That's just more wedding video. Okay, so we don't have. All I have left are these two little snippets of Mars going.
Alexa, shut up! Alexa, shut up!
Yeah, mine's on an external drive somewhere.
You know, I must have tweeted that or something. I think that was a tweet. I think you got to scroll back in my Twitter account until you get to that. Is what you got to do.
I'm sure some
I
fans
ain't
will.
going back several years.
That's
Are
the
you kidding? That's like 25,000 tweets.
yeah. Well, actually, Twitter does have an option to just look at the tweets that have media, so that will filter out only the ones with pictures or video or whatever. So that's less scrolling back to do. So that helps. But meanwhile,
not that much. You know how much video is on Twitter now? A lot.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, for some reason I can't see the GIFs.
Choosy.
It doesn't matter.
Choosy moms choose GIF.
It doesn't matter. Just
I
shut.
want to know why.
Maybe it's just not your time.
Huh.
Maybe it's just not your time.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
A good operating system. Let's just show all that.
All right, let's see what non-ball related news Lulu actually has for us by getting back to. So yeah. What's this? Revealed main culprits that made up Monster Fatberg. I thought it said Monster Fart Bag. Is what that's what Dune's got next to his recliner. There is a Monster Fart Bag, not to be confused with a Monster Fatberg. Fatberg, is that like an iceberg but it's fat?
Pretty much. It causes some damage.
In total, 36 tanker loads, each 3,000 gallons of debris, were excavated and removed by a dedicated team of 7 specialists. Is this more medical news?
No, this is sewage news.
Cooking fats and hygiene products played a pivotal role in the formation of the giant fatberg found lurking under a seaside town. Okay, so a literal fatberg, a like iceberg of not ice but fat, gathered in the sewer system of a town.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
that was sick.
The 64-meter monster, greater in length than the Tower of Pisa, was discovered under the Esplanade in Sidmouth, Devon, just before Christmas last year. A team of scientists from the University of Exeter were asked to carry out an extensive autopsy of the fatberg to try to solve the mystery of how it was constructed and whether it posed any environmental risks. The scientists were given 4 samples from the fatberg, each weighing around 10 kilograms, after Southwest Water Workers spent 8 weeks removing it from the sewer. In total, 36 tanker loads, each 3,000 gallons of debris, were excavated and removed. Now, this is just the samples that were removed, not the entirety of the thing.
Yeah.
The fatberg was taken to a local sewage treatment works where it was fed into the anaerobic digester and produced energy to power the plant. Okay, well, that's green. That's good. The university team found that the samples they received were mostly made of animal fats consistent with domestic food preparation, combined with household hygiene products such as wet wipes and sanitary products, as well as natural and artificial fibers from toilet tissue and laundry. This just in, sewage was found in the sewer. I repeat, sewage was found in the sewer. This is not news.
Oh my God. I found it. Something else.
Five Dune wrote in, still better than a bucket, but I don't know when he wrote that in. So, I'm sorry. I'm just getting to that now.
Oh, God.
It goes on. There's more to it.
Really? There's more than just we found sewage in the sewer? They also discovered the fatberg contained no detectable levels of toxic chemicals, meaning its presence in the sewer, while increasing the risk of a blockage, did not pose a chemical or biological risk to the environment or human health. Synthetic biology expert Professor John Love, who led the project, said, analyzing the fatberg samples in such a short time frame was an exciting challenge requiring the expertise from a number of specialized scientists. Translation: we had fun. Okay, there's nothing here. They found sewage in the sewer. That's the story. We were all rather surprised to find that the Sidmouth Fatberg was simply a lump of fat aggregated with wet wipe, sanitary towels, and other household products. It really should be put in the bin and not down the toilet. What the hell? I thought wipes would deteriorate.
Nope.
And I thought sanitary products. I don't know what to do with them, but I thought people flushed them at times. That's
Sanitary products they mean by like feminine hygiene pads and tampons and stuff like some people will flush down.
My understanding is some people do flush that and consider that normal.
But it's not. That stuff isn't supposed to go in the sewage.
Okay, all right, good to know. Well, I don't.
Some people will put like birdseed and like their little pets like their quote unquote biodegradable hay and alfalfa or newspaper clippings down the toilet. They'll put like their quote unquote what is it? They'll put the sanitary wipes, they'll put any kind of like hard paper product down the toilet, like not just tissue paper, but what is it?
Paper towels.
Paper towels, yeah, they'll put paper towels down the toilet or down the sink.
Yeah, lots of paper towels.
Well, I know we're not supposed to put paper towels down there. Anyways,
Yeah.
Okay. So, moral of the story: don't flush a tampon.
Yeah, see, they mainly find fatbergs in larger cities or like in like England and stuff. I don't think they really find fatbergs around in the United States as much.
That's nice to know that at least we don't have fatbergs. And you would think, as like the fattest nation, we would have like the biggest fatbergs. You would think.
Yeah. But
So,
I really haven't heard about like a fucking 300-gallon or a 3,000-gallon fucking fatberg popping up in like New York City or anything. I've heard of like,
yeah, you would think that New York City. Well, then again, I guess the thing is that New York City can't afford to have a fatberg. I mean, could you imagine what things would be like if plumbing got blocked in New York City? It'd be a disaster. My guess is that has something to do with us maintaining our sewer system in a certain way to take care of things like that before they grow into fatbergs.
Yeah, in San Francisco, they go down and check sewage systems all the time because a lot of them are still clay pipes. They found the beginnings of fatbergs, but those have been.
But they take care of that before it grows.
Yeah, they take care of those when they're just like little things.
Little baby fatbergs.
They don't let them. They don't get them to where they're like,
right.
Huge ass fucking monsters.
Some cities not that well. I see those on something called Strange Evidence on the Science Channel, and they profile one of those things. And this showed it coming out of this one sewer stream that it's just a big blob just like coming out of it into the main sewer. And this thing was huge and was all full of fat and, and microbes and maggots and, creepy crawly things. And it was nasty. And yeah, they said the same thing. They had to go back into the force pipe, and take all that stuff out because it's mostly, things like cooking, cooking grease and stuff. It was like, oh God, that's nasty.
Mick Bryant in the chat room has left a YouTube link. I don't know if you want to look at it, and I can't see.
It's
Bartar.
Pangolin Rolls in Mud, and I am looking at it, but I don't know who sent the link, so I'm worried about the audio. But it looks safe. Yeah, if you want to click on the link in the chat room, if you're not hanging out on Twitch,
worried about the audio here.
Well, I know
you're actually worried about the audio here.
Well, well, Venison. I
don't think sharing audio from like YouTube and outer links are okay.
Well, I know that there are on Twitch there are trolls that will try to trick people into playing offensive content on their channel so they can report them. But and I haven't seen McBrent before in the chat room, but welcome aboard. That's a very cute video actually, and I think actually let's take a look. I mean, I don't even know if there is audio to it.
I hope he walks himself back to the house.
Oh, I left you a link too.
Whoa! What? Someone knocked. What the heck? Was that part of the video? Oh, whoa! That was creepy. Okay, that was creepy audio.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That sounded like someone actually knocking on my wall really loud. That was creepy. Okay, you got me. You got me. Thank you. but
I left you a link too, also in Twitter.
And
this one's funny.
You know what though? I was worried about like offensive material being played. This is good, clean fun. So I applaud you for the good, clean fun. So thank you for that, and that was some pretty convincing audio. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna close that, and also this proves that my gut feeling was correct. It was spot on. I started feeling guilty about accusing a stranger of something, and it's like, all right, let's bring it up a little bit just to and immediately. Okay, you got me. You bastard. Now, let's get back on to real...
like I said, yeah, look in the Twitter, messages. I left you a link there. But be warned, this is basically a 9-year-old who didn't exactly know what this phrase means and is asking his father about it.
What is this now?
It's a kid asking his father about what something is.
Where is this?
It's in the private chat on Twitter.
Oh, the Twitter chat. Okay, let's bring that up. Is this
funny?
Is this safe to play?
Oh wow, I forgot. Hey, you got
type in what he says in the Twitter chat.
Yeah, just type in what words used here, because there's certain words that we don't want to.
Well, you got the wording in here. More mature audiences only, in order to access your stream.
What's this?
Even still, there's some things that can't be said on Twitch. So type it in the goddamn fucking chat.
Yeah, there's certain words that you could get kicked off at Twitch for. And I think you should know what those are. Is this something that if they sent it to you, you'd send them an exploding watermelon for?
No.
Okay.
Venison,
like
send the shit in the fucking chat.
Yeah, tell me.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Let me play it back first, so I can see what it is.
Wait, you don't even know what this is.
No, I know what it is, but I don't remember all the words used.
So why the fuck are you sending it?
Like I said, he's sending a father, talking to his 9-year-old kid. I would think that he would use, language.
Okay.
But I don't remember.
I'm not going to get another knock on the wall next to me, am I? Let's.
No.
All right.
God damn it, Venison. Check your shit before fucking sending it.
Tired of you.
What?
And I got a question for you. What does teabag mean?
What?
What does teabag mean?
So what the hell you hit at?
I heard you ask that girl last night, can you teabag her?
Do it look like I give a fuck, Sean?
Do it look like I give a fuck and I don't? First of all, I told you stop listening to my conversations in my room. Second of all, the girl was sick. Okay, if she's sick, I ain't supposed to help her.
That's beside the point. I've been sick a lot of times in my life. How come you never teabagged me?
Pause! What are you talking about, Sean? You're my son.
Okay, exactly. I'm your son, so I should get teabagged the most.
So sit back, okay? What are you talking about right now?
I bet you never teabagged my mom.
I wanted to. I'll tell you that, but your mom was never sick enough to let me do it.
That's probably why she's still sick you this day.
Sit your ass back, Sean, okay? That's the last time I'm gonna tell you, all right? You don't know what you're talking about.
It's cool, it's cool. I don't want your teabags anyway, because the teabags don't work for her anyway.
And why you say that?
Because so far, all I hear is her choking.
Get the... What's wrong?
Okay, that was good.
Wow.
All right, that was scripted, but it was funny.
I don't know if that was scripted.
That was scripted.
That was scripted. That was totally scripted. That was
Okay.
that was not real.
You
That was
look
good
like
though.
punch the shit out of the kid.
Okay, so we do have other links that Lulu sent us. Area 51, U.S. military sorry over threat to use bomber against millennials. I don't know. If you're stupid enough to try to storm Area 51, I'm thinking a bomber is just what you need. Just saying.
Yeah, I know this is it's an old one, but I looked at it and I was like, really they were really going to send a bomber over a bunch of people, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Well, they sent a tweet. Well, there was a tweet sent by DVIDS Hub that had an image of a stealth bomber, and with the caption, "The last thing millennials will see if they attempt the Area 51 raid today," which I don't.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't meant. I mean, it was serious and not serious at the same time, because I mean, the point is if you try it, it ain't gonna end well for you. You know, we you know, the whole mindset of if we all storm at the same time, they can't stop all of us. Yeah, they can. And yes,
they can.
And yes, they will. That was the point. And I think the picture of the bomber was just a way to make the more extreme point without the reality of what the real plan would be if a group of people stormed the area. I don't see anything here that was worth apologizing over, but you know, okay. Apparently, this is why we can't have nice things anymore. You can't even say anything in jest anymore. Last night, a DVIDS Hub employee posted a tweet that in no way supports the stance of the Department of Defense. It was inappropriate, and we apologize for this mistake. All right. Well, I guess they just don't want to joke around, and so, well, there's someone that's probably looking for a job now. That's too bad. But yeah, that is a little excessive to send a bomber out for a group of millennials storming Area 51. I'm thinking just release the hounds, you'll be fine.
No, but they put it.
I think it would have been kind of cool to see, you know, because
this makes you want to raid it all that much more. Hey, I always wanted to see a bomber in action. Let's go raid.
Well, no, I think for the purpose of like a military training exercise, this would have been good, because then they could have just used rubber bullets and what is it, the flash grenades instead of real grenades, you know.
Yeah.
They could have honestly made this into a training exercise and then just jail people after this.
They could have used less lethal ammunition.
No, they wouldn't. Because around the area, around the perimeter, they got signs up that says, "Do not enter. You know, deadly force will be used."
Okay.
Well, no, these people weren't directly on on the premise. They were in the town and stuff. They were like 500 feet, they were back a ways.
Oh yeah,
So,
they were.
So it wasn't like they were literally crashing into Area 51. They were on the outskirts, more likely partying and shit. So I mean, like, I think it would have been more like if they really wanted to do a come at you bro situation, fucking Naruto running, it would have been better if the military just did like a training exercise with fucking rubber bullets and flash grenades.
But there's a few people out there, a few assholes who would take it extremely literally, and try that shit.
Then see, those people should actually be taken
shot.
accounted. No, I mean honestly, like, the government really should have been involved with this and make it into a military exercise. And actually put it out there for the public.
Well, but there was no raid. That's the thing, though. Is no one actually raided, so there was no exercise to be had.
Yeah, thank God people were that stupid.
But no, I mean, actually put it out there. Like, say, hey, these people are gonna try and raid Area 51. Okay, the U.S. Government of Defense puts out, all right, we're gonna have a military exercise then,
and show you what happens if you do.
Well, I that might be a little
unlethal force.
Well, the thing is that the whole raid was a hoax to start with, and just giving a hoax that much attention is kind of
like I said,
doesn't make you look very good.
Some people will look at that and say, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, but they didn't.
Because they weren't total idiots. Thank God there was still some common sense out there.
People have enough common sense to not raid a military complex. So we have that. We have that working in our favor. There's still some redeeming qualities to humanity.
I think the government could have honestly pulled a positive out of this by joining up with the people who wanted to raid Area 51 in some way or another, whether it be a like mock situation with people involved, or joining forces with them and having a mock situation with them in some way or another, not against them or with them, or say, like, if there was a situation where they had to join forces with civilians and like have to take down a base because it had been overran by another country or something, I mean, they could have done anything with this. Set up a mock Area 51 out in the desert and have them go raid that.
Okay, won't get political here. But something that was done.
How is it political?
Oh, when Trump pulled our forces out of the Kurd territory and left one of our bases there, they left in kind of a hurry, so there could have been paperwork left behind or something left behind. The Russians moved in and took over the base, so anything they found in there is now theirs.
I don't think we would leave confidential documents behind. I mean,
yeah, we hope not.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying set up like tents and stuff just for a mock situation, not with like papers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have no idea what you're talking about, Venison. You're getting the bunny with the pancake on its head.
That was just an example of
Bunny
a force
pancake.
taking face over.
Bunny with a pancake on the head.
Bobby01 says, "Hey, hi, Bobby."
Hello. Do you have any links you want to send? We've already been punked once. We're on edge now. But we do have Neo. You have Lulu. You have interesting tastes in art. I do have to say that.
Well, oh yeah. I like that one that I sent.
Yeah. Bribey Island's Birth of Venus sculpture hidden after complaint from resident, and it's like, what could be so bad? And then this is basically a pussy sculpture. Is what we got.
Yes, it's a pussy sculpture.
I mean, those are nicely formed lips. I will say. One might say it's tasteful, but a lot of people have said no, it's not. Bribey Island's Lulu Drew lodged the complaint with the Moreton Bay Regional Council after she visited the Bribey Island Community Arts Center and noticed the sandstone sculpture was showing private bits. Ms. Drew said she had visited the center with an elderly gentleman and they didn't know where to look. I'm sure there's plenty of other places you could look that don't have pussy lips on display. I'm just saying. Ms. Drew then contacted a former Moreton counselor who told her the statue was the same one that had been previously removed from a public park because of complaints. You know what this is like? Have you ever worked a retail job and you get this new manager and the new manager's like a real annoying asshole but doesn't do anything that's worth getting fired over, and then you find out that this is like that manager's fourth time they've been transferred to a different store?
The sculpture?
Yeah, the sculpture's because it was in a park, someone complained about it, so what do? They moved it to another park. This is like that manager that no one wants to work with that they just keep transferring to a different store to make it someone else's problem.
But it's not a negative thing. It's just
given
a twat.
Well, people have reported it that they didn't want to see it. So from their point of view, it's a negative thing. And the answer has been to let's move it somewhere else. And then other people complain about it. No, I don't see a problem with this. I wouldn't lodge a complaint about this.
I mean, it's just because it's waxed. It doesn't have hair on it.
No, there is no hair. I will say that it's you know what? I was very disappointed. I was going through old bookmarks last night and kind of realizing that I haven't deleted any bookmarks from my bookmark file in probably about 10 years, and so a lot of them are not valid anymore. And I was very disappointed to find out that the Guess Her Muff blog is gone. Do you remember that one? You'd see a picture of the woman clothed, and then you could guess if she was shaved or not, and click next, and it would show the picture that would answer that question. And it was a fun party time game, but it was great. It was great for family game night. But you never played this game with your family?
No.
Yeah, but that blog is long gone. You never heard of that? Guess Her Muff? That was a great blog.
No.
It was a great blog.
Nope.
Ms. Drew said...
I don't do blogs anyway.
Let's see. In 2008, the sculpture created headlines after then Caboolture Mayor Alan Sutherland ordered it to be moved from a park at Wareham. Mr. Sutherland said at the time it had been moved as it was offensive to women after vandals painted the vulva pink. Okay, that was a nice touch. I see no problem with that. They were going...
at least they weren't sticking Baby Ruth bars as though it's shitting out of its ass. Okay.
At least, yeah, that. but you know, painting the vulva pink, that's appropriate. That I don't think that's that's showing that it's healthy, right? On Friday, a Moreton Bay Regional Council spokesman said the sculpture, a 3-part sandstone sculpture with a shell, Venus, and a plaque, had been at the center for more than a decade following the Warham incident. The sculpture, so this thing has been flying under the radar for 10 years now, and all of a sudden someone saw it, and well, now it's an issue again. That's too bad. The sculpture had at one stage sat at the back of the art center before being relocated to the front 12 months ago. Oh, no, it's not ready for the front yet. But it was only after a bush concealing the genitalia was removed. They shaved Venus. They removed the bush. They shaved her. Now that is funny that they hid the vulva with a bush.
Wow.
And someone decided, why is this bush here? Let's remove that. And it was completely oblivious to the reasoning. And it prompted Miss Drew's complaint. A bush that was planted at the center was stolen, and we're going to replace it, the spokesman said. Ms. Drew said the garden had been hiding the private parts so you couldn't see them. Ms. Drew said she believed a woman laying down in a fetal position with its private bits poking at you wasn't appropriate for a public space. It's the location of where they have put this, she said. As you enter the community center, there she is. She said the center was used for markets, and little kids go and get faces painted. Well, this might give them some inspiration of other things you can get painted on your face. I don't know. They're walking in, and there's this lady lying in the fetal position, Ms. Drew said. Ms. Drew said she wasn't ashamed of the female body, but the sculpture had a very distasteful pose. She said,
wait, it reads here. She is obese. She is sucking on her thumb, and her feet are abnormally big, and between her thighs is poking out the outer lips of a woman's flower.
I think that's the labia majora.
I guess.
I don't know. I had to know that for a test once, and this was absolutely. Someone private messaged me a link through Twitch. I'm sure that's completely legit. We'll just go ahead and close that. Thank you. No, when I was we had like a health class health class in a Catholic high school. Translation: we want to scare you into not having sex class, so we're going to tell you about all the awful things that can grow on those parts of your body. And they had flashcards and they had pictures and there are things that you can't unsee that are far worse than this sculpture. And but the teacher basically said, if I'm going to teach you all these things, this is kind of a medical class. We need to be familiar with the anatomy. So the first thing you have to do is you have to learn all the proper anatomy terms for the, sexual reproductive system of the male and the female, and you'll take a test and you'll be graded on that. And so I missed the day of the test, so I had to take a makeup test. So when I came back to school for the makeup test, they sent me to the library to take the test, and they said, well, when you're done, just hand it to that nun behind the counter over there. And so that's why I had to...
Was her name Labia Majora?
No. Her name was Sister Cecilia. And so there's nothing more awkward than handing in a test to a nun that has like the words penis, vagina, vulva, vas deferens all written over it.
Thank you, Sister Labia Majora.
And she has no idea what I'm turning in, so her eyes glance down, and then her eyes glance away, and then we both just never speak of this again and walk in opposite directions. And this is why.
Wow.
And this is how Sister Cecilia came to know how good I am at anatomy. Yeah.
Right.
Now then, for something a little slightly less, did you check out the new Banana Splits movie on the Sci-Fi Channel?
I didn't realize there was a new Banana Splits movie. Do they use any of the old soundtrack?
A little bit, yeah. It shows them in concert, but it turns out to be a horror movie. They go bad.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
And start killing people.
You got to wonder about someone that dresses up in large costumes like the people that were in the Banana Splits. You look at them and you're like, yeah, these are people that are killing people in their spare time. That's while singing tra la 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 tra la. We all know Lulu loves to sing a cheery song when she goes around on murderous rampages.
Yes. Yes. It's so fun.
Yes, it is. Anyways,
there it is. There's a preview of it right there.
A preview of the Banana Splits movie. Okay. Oh, you must have sent it to the Twitter room. Let me.
Yeah.
Let me pull that up there. Okay. Let's see here. I'm not getting sound out of this. Let's do that, and then let's.
It'll probably give you a copyright strike if you use it.
Okay. Show must go on. Oh, okay.
How do we stop the bananas?
You don't want to share all of it because it might give you a copyright strike.
Oh my god, they literally turned the Banana Splits into a horror. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to watch this now. I don't know. Kristen would like this. Okay. Oh, they kept the Tra-La-La song.
Yep.
This is interesting.
With chainsaw going in the background.
That's great. That is great. That's Fleagle, Bingo, Drooper, and Snorky. Can't wait to play with you.
Oh, that's lovely.
That is, isn't it?
Play with you with hacksaws.
Oh wow. There's a what the fuck.
What?
Imagine a fourth grade play of Scarface.
No, I don't see it.
This was just wow.
I'd rather see a fourth grade play of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, this is
Okay.
crap.
Well, speaking of horror movies, apparently the Toronto police are looking for someone that was caught humping the bumper of a speeding car.
What?
Okay, I understand humping a car while it's parked or stationary because that would be the ideal method to do so if you so chose to. And, you know, whatever you're into, hey, if that's your bag, humping cars, more power to you. But I think you should, you don't want to go out on the open highway and hump the car. But apparently... You know, this reminds me of that episode of That Strange Addiction where there was the guy that's in a committed relationship with his car. You see that one? No? No, you haven't?
No.
No. Here. Let me let's see if we can get a little bit of this.
Nathaniel. I'm 27 years old.
He's 27.
I'm in a serious relationship with my car.
Oh, that one. Yes.
Oh my God, he kisses the car all over.
Nathaniel is in a committed relationship with a car that he's named Chase. He met Chase in a resale lot about 5 years ago.
That's so romantic.
No, it's not.
It was love at first sight. His body and then his interior
Why
and
does it
everything
sound
just
like
together.
he's kissing something? Ew.
Because he
Ew.
is lying under the car kissing the bumper. Is what he's doing. It's quite erotic actually.
Erotic?
The curves, the girth, the you know, there's some people like a little junk in the trunk. You know, it's whatever, you know, to each their own. No, you know, this is perfectly normal, I'm sure.
We always have such a good time together. He likes a lot of the same music I do. We have a favorite song. It's Can't Fight This Feeling by REO Speedwagon. I do get him gifts. How you'd buy something for your fiance or your wife. And then usually for his birthday, I try to do something special for him too. The favorite date would be going to the Lookout area. Just lean against him a little and just be with him mainly. Love you.
God, stop with the fucking steam. God.
You're not liking this, are you?
No.
Well, I'm trying to come up with a logical reason why someone would want to hump a car while it's driving. And I guess, you know, sometimes you want a little more action when you're getting it on with the car. And what fun, I don't know, humping a stationary car, that'd be like, you know, humping a blow-up doll, right? You want some movement, you want some action when you're getting it on with your car. So I'm thinking that's what happened. Well, let's read the news story, see what's... most kids growing up in Canada have ridden on the back of someone's bicycle before. Sometimes you'd have to get somewhere quick and you wouldn't have enough bikes, and some unlucky girl or boy would be stuck riding on pegs. A Toronto driver recently took that same practice a step further by having someone ride on the back bumper of a car while they flew down a GTA roadway. Yep, you read that right. Someone went pegs on the back of a vehicle that could have easily been going anywhere from 70 to 80 kilometers an hour. The Halton Regional Police is searching for a Toronto area driver after their vehicle was seen carrying an extra passenger on its back bumper. On occasion, you've asked us what would warrant a dangerous driving charge. Pretty sure this would make the grade. Recognize this vehicle or saw it on Upper Middle Road on Monday, October 14th? Give us a ring. We'd like to chat with the driver. A statement on their Twitter read. In a video, which was recorded via dashcam, a car could be seen speeding into the frame with a gray shape attached to its back bumper. At first, it's hard to tell exactly what the form is until a car recording the shenanigans gets closer and a pair of legs in gray sweatpants becomes noticeable. At the end of the clip, both the drivers come to a stop, and the full shape of the daredevil passenger can be seen clinging onto the back bumper of the vehicle. Oh, I hope they link this video. Okay, I'm gonna let me review this here. So, here we go, driving along, and yeah, there's a gray pair of legs on the back of the car there. A little bit of glare from the sunlight makes it a little difficult to see. Okay, so he's not actually humping; he's just holding on. This is actually kind of a disappointment. I thought he'd really be humping it, but anyways. Yeah, we're getting closer there. There he is. Yeah, he's hanging on. Huh.
Is he wearing skates?
I think he's just hovering his feet over the ground. I think is what skates.
No, I think he's using skates.
You think he's using skates? Well, let's get this to full screen. The glare on the windshield makes it hard.
Yeah, he's using rollerblades, dude.
Okay, all right. This has just been elevated to cool. Rollerblades makes anything cooler. I'm surprised that at that speed it wouldn't, like, you know, wear out the bearings or something.
Rollerblades.
That means if he lets go, he keeps on moving at 80 kilometers an hour on rollerblades.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Those are rollerblades.
That's hardcore, man. Anyways, still no messages coming in, but be sure to write in if you have any comments on that, or you want to try to trick me into clicking on something, which I won't. Been there, done that. Yeah, but that's. I'm guessing you probably regret sending me that link now, since I brought up the guy having sex with his car clip in relation to that.
Okay.
Hey, don't knock it till you tried it.
No.
He seems to be happy.
No.
Okay, whatever. Meanwhile, if it's not some dude hanging on the back of your car, it's gonna be blood in the basement.
Oh yeah.
And this seemed, you know what? It doesn't surprise me that this link came from you. I saw this link. I'm like, yep. Lulu would send me that. I thought maybe you just sent me a picture of your basement.
I don't have a basement.
But if you did, it would be filled with blood.
If I did, I would send you, a blood-filled basement.
It would be, and you would know how the blood got there too.
Yes.
That's the thing. What sounds like a scene from a horror film is reality for the Listina family of Bagley, Iowa. Nick Listina and his family of 7 were getting ready to put their house on the market until their basement was flooded with animal blood. Their basement was filled with nearly 5 inches of animal blood, fat and bones, as a result of a drainage from a meat locker next door. Ooh, that's not good.
That's some good times.
Oh, and that's
just wading in,
and
just wading into that.
And that's when you're putting your house in the market. That's the worst time for your house to get flooded with blood.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine if it happened just a little bit later, like 2 weeks after the new family moves in, all of a sudden the basement. For the last 10 years, the family has lived next to Dahl's Meat Locker, but have never had any problems until recently. Listina said his neighbors were dumping hog and cattle remains down a floor drain, which is connected to his pipes. He immediately reported it to the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, which confirmed the substance is animal blood, fat, and bones. They got the Department of Health involved due to its hazards. The DNR said the meat processor has been cooperating with the investigation. However, Listina says Dahl's so far has not been a good neighbor in the situation. They haven't reached out at all. In fact, they haven't taken any accountability for it, said Listina. They say it's not their fault and told me good luck. If I want to do anything about it, it's on my dime and my schedule. But the owners of Dahl's Custom Meat Locker have contacted the media to say they're working with their insurance company to take care of reimbursing the Listina family. Many of the Listina family's belongings were destroyed by the blood in the basement, including a bed they were saving for their toddler son. Oh, it's a race car bed.
Damn, Seven crashed it again.
Dude.
Wow.
Dude.
That is sick. That
is some rank, man.
That is oh god, what you wonder what that must smell like.
Man, if they walked away for like 2 weeks in the hot sun and their house was like locked up.
No.
Oh yeah.
That would not be good.
It has a video to it.
Does it need it?
I don't know. Do you think? I don't know.
I think it's probably just the news report. Probably is.
Yeah, it's probably just the news report.
It's. I mean, if we bring up a few seconds of it.
Smell that. I wouldn't want that for anybody to have that in their house.
Bagley resident Nick Listina and his family of 7 were getting ready to put their house on the market.
And they've told us, concurrently that shouldn't stay in the house because of the biohazard.
Until their basement was flooded with animal blood.
I was shocked at first, but I had a pretty good idea where it came from.
They've lived next to Dahl's Meat Locker for 10 years, but have never had any problems.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
Yeah. Oh. Of course.
Oh, you saw this?
Yeah, it was on Twitter. I think yesterday.
Oh. Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty. No, that's no. You missed one thing that happened a few years ago.
What?
In Piscataway, in New Jersey.
I know.
Apparently, a sewer line went there and clogged a main line. The main line, which the water was rushing out at an incredible speed, and it blocked. And yeah, half the town had sewer sludge, shit, and everything else coming up out of their sewer drains in the basement, flooded the basement, coming out of the drains, all the way up to the kitchen, and he had to open the doors in order to let all that nasty water out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it flooded a park and all kinds of things, and it was nasty.
Huh.
Glad I wasn't around for that.
Yeah.
And I felt sorry for those people, man, because I mean, houses got majorly flooded.
Wow.
Meanwhile, speaking of,
by the way,
I see a theme to tonight's stories. I mean, we start with the balls. We talked about a bunch of fat and sanitary products in the sewer. We talked about a statue, a pussy statue, and now we have a story about a woman who had her tampon removed by the police, and that was and they didn't charge her any extra for that. That was
okay.
But that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough that it was free. She wanted to get paid for it. No, that's pretty shitty what they did. A $205,000 settlement will be awarded to a San Antonio woman who said a female San Antonio police detective removed a tampon from her during a search in the open in the presence of male officers. Okay, that's the craziest game of hide and seek I ever heard of. I don't know what you're looking for, but I can tell you what you're gonna find there at the end of that string.
Where's Waldo? Waldo ain't up there.
I don't know. Maybe she just wanted to brew a nice cup of tea. But the San Antonio City Council.
Don't remind me. Do not remind me.
The San Antonio City Council approved the settlement Thursday. A federal lawsuit alleges that in August 2016, Natalie Sims was waiting for her boyfriend outside her vehicle when San Antonio police officers asked if they could search her car for drugs. Okay, first thing, what reason did they have to want to search her car? She's just waiting for her boyfriend outside of her car. Okay, police then asked if they could search her. A female detective pulled down Sim's shorts, pressed on her vagina, and removed a tampon. The detective named in the lawsuit is Mara Wilson. Officer Wilson knew that she could not expose Natalie's pubic hair, vagina, or other parts of her body which are so intimate as to be covered up regularly in public. Unfortunately, Officer Wilson's knowledge was no concern to her and did not guide her search. Officer Wilson instead chose to culminate her search by conducting a vaginal cavity search, the lawsuit stated. Is this normal? Is this normal to check for drugs there?
Yes, usually they have them bend over and cough a lot of times to see if anything rectally will come out, unless they actually stick their fingers up there and swirl them. But usually they have to take them to the station to do
Yeah,
cavity searches.
I'm thinking that would be a private thing, I mean that's a long running joke in things. Is hey, be careful with the police or they'll stick a finger up your bum. The whole we're suspicious, so we're gonna stick a finger up your. I mean, it's but how often does that?
Well, question here: was the person that was searched white or black?
That has not come up yet.
It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter. It happens to everyone.
Yeah, maybe, but not to this extreme, it sounds like.
It doesn't matter, Venison. Why should it matter?
Look at
why?
I know you're
really gonna throw that fucking in?
Well, Venison is suggesting the possibility of some biasness based on race, and that's
profiling.
That's certainly a possibility here, but we do not have the evidence to back that up or support that yet. We would need to know number. I mean, if we got some statistics of how many people this officer is stopping and what percentage and things like that, then we could start to make some correlations. But we really don't have enough information on this one story to put forward that theory.
I'll accept that.
Okay, all right.
God, you fucking pig! Not everything is about a fucking black person.
You want to bet?
Anyways, he accepted my what I pointed out. I think we can move on here. Wilson retired in 2017 and received no disciplinary action, according to the suit. Sims' attorney Dean Malone said the settlement is not closure, but Sims was glad to have the incident behind her. She was also very glad to have the $205,000, I'm sure. $205,000 ain't closure, but it'll do. Even though the defendants have never apologized, have never admitted to liability, I think the fact that money is being paid, is at least to her, is acknowledgement that what she went through was wrong, Malone said. Okay. That's an interesting story.
Oh, that's cute.
What is?
No, it's a short video clip I'm watching. This guy, goes walking up, to in this plaza type deal, and there's a small deer, standing there. And the guy, starts to walk past it, stops, turns, bows his head to the deer, and the deer bows his head to him.
Ah.
And it's just titled Respect.
Respect. Well, you got to respect the deer.
Yeah. But that's kind of cute. Oh, by the way, if you want it, I put that fourth grade play in there. It's kind of disturbing because one thing is not the sort of play you want fourth graders doing, and even though they substituted the language, still, and instead of a pile of cocaine, he's got a pile of popcorn up there. Yeah, but when he brings out the big ass Nerf machine gun, oh man.
Okay, well, we could check out a little bit of this. Oh, it stopped. Okay.
Fudging back of the fudging persons. They're the fudging ones that make Coke legal.
Can't you stop saying fudge all the time? It's boring, Tony.
Boring? What's boring?
You're boring.
Fly, Pelican, fly. Come on, Pelican.
You do coke and you kill people. That's wonderful, Tony.
I got a fudging junkie for a wife.
You son of a bee.
Her mom was so polluted. I can't have a fudging little baby with her.
I'm leaving you, mother fudger.
This is great. This is
Yeah, but should be teaching kids that.
well, kids gotta learn sometime.
Not that early. I still remember the old kindergarten and the shit incident.
But yeah, but that. Why did my microphone get a whole lot quieter?
I don't know.
Something's up with something's not right. Something's not right. No, that's distorted. That's not right. Something changed, and I don't know what, because my microphone suddenly got a lot quieter. And that bothers me because I should know that shouldn't change. I didn't change anything.
Well, it still sounds all right here.
Okay. Why is it so quiet there? Okay, let's. Oh, there we go. That's looking better there, but that's still. It's still quieter in my headphones than it was before. Anyways, we'll just continue with the show here because we're fine. I'll figure that out later.
Oh yeah. Let's for one other thing up there. A funny image.
A funny image, you say?
Yep. Things you find in your fortune cookies.
So I'll talk to you guys later.
Oh, we were going to talk about the sex video you sent. That sounded wrong.
Hey, what?
A Paris Sue unveils a blob, an organism with no brain but 720 sexes. That's quite, and it's got a video. What the
hell?
You and Venison can discuss it. I gotta go.
Okay. Well, we'll catch you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. That was the one, the only, the Lulu, who sent us all these links this evening. Yeah, I don't know. They're saying all the fake curse words, and we all knew that when we were their age. So I don't think there's anything wrong here. You think this is wrong?
Tony, that's what I tell you, man. I got married to a sister.
Okay, it's pretty wrong. I'll
this
give.
This is the ending part, and
Thank you, Tony.
And the violence, shooting.
Oh, the Nerf gun's coming out now. There we go.
Okay, so sir, you want to fudge with me? You're fudge, you the best. Wanna play with? Say hello to my little friend. Take that, you cockroaches.
It's a shootout with the kids.
I took a funny boot.
I love how there's an adult guiding the kids out with the toy guns. That is,
and the kid comes back. Kid comes walking up behind him and shoots him in the back.
that is great. That is absolutely great. That's one of the best things I've seen on the internet in a long time.
Okay. I still think it's wrong. They're fourth graders. I could see it. It was junior high.
Weren't you ever in fourth grade?
Yeah, we never did anything like that.
No, you were too busy having sex. As
no comment.
I knew it.
Hey, it was the 60s.
It's no excuse.
Yes, it is. Sexual revolution and all that stuff.
Yeah, whatever.
Free love.
A Paris zoo showcased a mysterious new organism on Wednesday dubbed the Blob, a yellowish unicellular small living being which looks like a fungus but acts like an animal. The newest exhibit of the Paris Zoological Park, which goes on display to the public on Saturday, has no mouth, no stomach, no eyes, yet it can detect food and digest it. The blob has almost 720 sexes, can move without legs or wings, and heals itself in 2 minutes if cut in half. The blob is a living being which belongs to one of nature's mysteries, says Bruno David, director of the Paris Museum of Natural History, of which the zoological park is part. It surprises us.
Did they see the movie?
What's that?
Didn't they see the movie?
The blob? Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Just making sure this is facing the right way. It surprises us because it has no brain but is able to learn. And if you merge two blobs, the one that has learned will transmit its knowledge to the other, David added. The Blob was named after a 1958 science fiction horror B-movie starring a young Steve McQueen, in which an alien life form, the Blob, consumes everything in its path in a small Pennsylvania town. If something like that were to take place, it would definitely take place in Pennsylvania. So they got that part right. Because there's something weird going on in Pennsylvania. We're not quite sure what, but there's something up there. We know for sure. What's that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's always been weird.
Yeah. Well, I went to college there, so I know. It's I like Pennsylvania, but there's something weird going on in Pennsylvania. Can't quite put your finger on it. We know for sure.
Dude,
what's that?
No, even telephone poles are weird.
Yeah, well, they got a town that it's had a coal fire burning underneath it since like the 70s or the 80s.
Oh yeah.
You know,
because they did something stupid.
and the crazy part is they lived there for a number of years with the fire just going underneath the town until a hole opened up in someone's backyard and a kid nearly fell in it, and that's when they're like, right, okay, maybe we should leave town.
Yeah, cracks started appearing in roadways, and everything else.
There's road traffic around it. It's fine. It's fine. It'll eventually burn itself out. There's only enough coal there for like a few thousand years of burning. It'll be fine. We know for sure it is not a plant, but we don't know if it's an animal or a fungus, says David. It behaves very surprisingly for something that looks like a mushroom. It has the behavior of an animal. It is able to learn. So that, I don't understand how it has 720 sexes. That part they need to explain.
Kill it.
What, it can learn?
No, kill it. Like I said, have you seen the movie? Kill it. Before it grows any bigger.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Tell that to the people in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they know. They're fine with it. It's Pennsylvania.
They evacuated the whole town. There's like maybe 5 people still living there.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're talking about the coal fire. Yeah, that town. There are a few people that refuse to leave, and but at this point, I think because they basically tried to force everyone out, and so it kind of became a showdown between the state wanting to force people to leave and people not wanting to leave. And I think it eventually...
Dude, your ground is on fire.
But it's their home. And here's the thing. I've actually spent time reading through like the town forums back when people that still lived there were, you know, kind of communicating with each other through this forum. And they basically had a position. This was their position of why they didn't want to leave. Because they felt that the state was exaggerating the situation. The sinkhole that opened up in the yard that the kid fell in was not related to the coal mine fire, is what they're suggesting, and that it just scared people. They had been living with it for years. It was perfectly fine.
There was smoke coming out of it.
Yeah, well, but that was only, but that wasn't what caused the sinkhole, I think, was their argument. And that it wasn't a big deal. I'm just relaying their comment on this. I'm not saying I agree with this. You know,
yeah, bunch of arrogant people. That's of course they're going to say that.
Venison, you didn't want to leave your house.
Well, my house didn't have a fire underneath it.
No, but it was a biological disaster.
Not really.
We still don't know where that thermos was.
Well, okay, that.
It was somewhere in there, festering, growing for years to come, and it was only going to get worse. That's not that much different from a coal mine fire.
Yeah, there was that.
There was that. But anyways, here was what they were getting at. What they were getting at was that the town, the property of the town was very valuable, and because there was a lot of coal under the town, and they felt that the state did have the ability to put out the fire, but they chose not to, because
yeah, right.
Well, here's their theory. Their theory was that the state would instead of putting out the fire, they made their attempts, they failed, and so then they relocate everyone and they pay them off, and then once everyone has left the town, they claim ownership of the town and all the property, and then all the valuable coal in the ground is now property of the state, and then they'll put out the fire, and then they'll mine the coal, and then they'll get the money.
Yeah, right.
That was that was the premise that was put forward by people that by some of the holdouts in the town. And
of course,
you know what? I wouldn't put it past the state government to pull something like that. So I'm not, gonna be completely dismissive of that. And I don't know a whole lot of the local politics that was behind the relocation. So, but I'm just saying that was their position there, that they felt that the state was trying to take ownership of this land that was not theirs to take. And so that's part of why they were holding out. And it was their home. And they just wanted to live in their home and live out their lives in their houses that they've lived in for forever.
Unfortunately, the state does not know how to put those fires out. They got them burning in West Virginia, too. They're still burning because they don't know how to put them out. They can't.
I don't know. I mean, there are things you can do. I mean, you just keep piping.
This ain't one of them.
You pipe a bunch of foam in the ground until the smoke stops, and there you go. I don't know, but scientists are capable of things if you get a group of people to do huge things. I mean, heck, what there was.
We don't have warp drive yet. We're not going to be able to put out that fire.
I mean, heck, they had to patch a hole in the river when they drilled the coal mine too close to the riverbed. That you ever see that, the Lackawanna disaster?
I think so.
I mean, the footage of that's impressive. They were throwing anything they could in the river to try to plug the hole, and I mean, they threw like mine train cars, and they basically were just swirling around like they were bathtub toys going right down the drain. down they go. It was, but they did eventually patch it up. I think they had to actually like close off the area of the river and divert all the water away from it, and then it patched that. They never reached. There are still some bodies down there that they never could get to, but there were a group of people that knew some of the mines in the area well enough to get out of there alive. But that's an interesting disaster to find YouTube clips about if you're interested in things like that.
Wow.
Yeah. You ever go on a coal mine tour?
No.
Yeah, I did that. It was fun.
Yeah, okay. No, I don't like the idea of, you know how many movies I've seen, or even TV series I've seen of mines collapsing. Well, I'm not going in there.
No. The ones that are open for tours, they've inspected that, and they're not doing any mining in there anymore, so nothing's like shifting or changing. And that stuff's, it's not like going into a active mine or an abandoned mine that's not been kept up. I mean, it's a mine tour. You go in a pretty, it ain't going anywhere. They've checked it. It's pretty solid.
You hope.
Hey, I got out of there alive.
They checked out many things. Scientists checked out many things, and they said, "Oh, we didn't expect that to happen."
Anyways, on that note,
well, wait a minute. Just to add a little humor, to the rest of this. Look at that pic I sent you.
Okay, let me
and see how many people are agitated by this, because it shows up in the strangest places.
All right, let's see what we got. What's showing up in strange places? I need to bring up your chat again. No, that was on Twitter. Twitter. Okay, let's go to Twitter. Let's go to the group chat. What is this now? Oh, it's a fortune cookie that's been cracked open with the fortune. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Yeah, that's what those warranties are like.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how many extended warranties I have, and they're always expiring? I had no idea I had taken out so many warranties on my car and set them all to expire at the same time, which is always today.
Even when you haven't had a car for 10 years.
There is that. Anyways, this has once again been fun, and you've been tuned in this evening to
insert title here.
The show that changes title so often. We just
rather disgusting one.
Placeholder in. So this was fun. Lulu had some great content this week. But stay tuned, because we're gonna. You know what? I don't think we have anyone. Do we have anyone viewing right now? No, we don't. I'd raid something, but I don't have anyone to send to a raid. So
Make Me Write a Song just came on.
Yeah, but there's only one person viewing the channel. That's like the most pathetic raid ever. I don't know. Well, we could always raid the Flat Earth Music channel. That's great fun. You ever watch that channel?
Nope.
Oh,
Never heard of it.
They run music videos of flat earthers. They're great. They're absolutely great. I was watching this electronic reggae music video earlier about how the Earth is flat, the ball is a delusion, or something like that. It was pretty catchy. Thankfully, that earworm disappeared quite quickly. But
yeah,
Video Vamp will be coming on tomorrow. Dune and Bob show on Sundays. 5-Hit Dune does his 5-hit thing Saturday night. So yeah, just check out IndustryRadio.com. Twitch.tv/5HitDune if you want to check him out. Follow us on Twitter at Johnny Gators. And thank you. But what have we learned? What have we learned here? We've learned so much.
And venison stew will be on tomorrow.
Of course. Gotta have a little venison stew. You know, just listen for a little bit for a free stew sample. But anyways, what have you learned here tonight, Venison?
I've learned that I think you're liking the stories about shit and sewage, used tampons, and all this disgusting stuff that's out there on the web.
I'm amused that Lulu managed to find so much disgusting stuff. That's what it is.
I'm not.
Well, I'm not. I didn't say it was surprised. I just said I was amused. That's our Lulu. But no, I have learned that there are still some good, clean, fun pranks out there on the internet, and I'd like to thank McBryant and Banter for pranking me with fun, harmless pranks. Because I was worried it was going to be a cute video of a cute animal, and all of a sudden someone keeps screaming the N-word over and over again. That would not be cool. Not cool. But a little bit of knocking, making me think someone's actually banging on the wall next to me. That was funny. That was cool. Thank you for that. Even though you didn't stick around for the rest of the show, so fuck you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Good night.
Banana split skilling people. I'm going to find that.